Hey guys, Garrett197 again with part 2 of the Gundam Breaker Starter Pack Limited Edition set. This time we'll be having a look at the 144 scale high-grade Universal Century Zaku. And unfortunately, this is the old Zaku kit. Yeah, the old high-grade, which means that it doesn't look nearly as badass as a Zaku should. I really can't understand why they didn't go with the F2 mold or give us like a hybrid and just put those legs on this set to give us an actual upgraded Zaku 2. Now that would have been a selling point. But alas, we'll have to do it with what we've got, the old Zaku mold. Starting off with the color, they are of course completely different from the normal Zaku colors. They are changed significantly. The black has become red, the light green has become white, and dark green has become light blue. And these are also the same colors as used by the RX-78 too. So I guess we could almost say that this is the Federation Zaku. Unfortunately, I checked, and this is not the color scheme used in Federation vs. Zeon or Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam on the PlayStation 2. That would have really been awesome. And then finally, the hoses became yellow. And we also get some stickers, and as you can see, these are, well, they want to make the old Zaku here look a little bit like the Gundam. So you can either choose this is the way he looks on the package and, well, on the picture on the front, and this is actually how they want you to make it. But I think I do prefer it this way because, well, we're going to be applying a lot of stickers on this area here, and I really fear for the worst of how that's going to look. And yeah, this actually looks pretty damn good, so I don't want to risk wrecking a limited edition kit. So just gonna remove the stickers. The one sticker I did use was the black one with the yellow eye. Also, the faded yellow eye, just like the other colors. Once again, just like the RX-78 2, the Zaku 2 has been a little bit, well, has been in the sun a little bit too long. And then we're also getting these limited edition stickers, and they want you to apply it like this on the shield. And we're getting an extra black one, which you can apply anywhere else, or you can simply give it to another model kit. Then articulation, the head goes up, down, will turn around all the way, so there's a little bit of chicken movement going on, and will also detach. And yes, the mono eye moves, but this, I really hate the mono eyes with a burning passion. And this isn't coming off, is it? This is not coming off. You know what? Screw this. If you want to see the way the mono eye moves, I'll put a link here to my review of the Eco Plus Zaku 2. And just in front of that, it's really a big pain to remove the head and then just to move the mono eye, because you can't really fidget it around like this because it's just one solid sticker, and the eye, it doesn't really, it's not molded in, so you can't grab a toothpick and push it around, which would have been a lot easier. And even then, when it's out, it's still a pain to move. So with the mono eye, I recommend getting it in one position that you like and don't move it afterwards. So the arm rotates around. Better news, forwards movement, that is seriously awesome. Then goes up, and then the shield is on a ball joint, so we'll wiggle around and most importantly turn around to give the arm some nice movement. Rotates around below the shoulder, bends the elbow, one joint for about 90 degrees. Hands are on ball joint, so they will wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. No waist articulation at all. You can try to do it all day, but it's not going to move. shoulder armor here comes up all the way, once again giving the arm a nice movement range for a bit more than 90 degrees. Front skirts move out a little bit, side skirts go out a little bit, legs go forwards nicely like so, backwards a little bit, bend at the knees at 2 joints, but yeah, you're getting about 90 degrees, a little bit more. And then the feet have the crazy Zaku foot joint, and well, I guess this is a good way to look at it. You have a hinge up there, then you have another hinge here, and then a ball joint at the bottom, which means that those feet can really go all over the place. You can go all the way up there, nicely back, side to side, and if you pull them out, will also rotate. I gotta say, these are some of the best articulated 1/144 scale feet ever. Let's put that back in there. And quite uniquely for a 1/144 scale, it can pull off a decent crouching pose if I can get the foot back in. There we go. So that is a really good plus point for this Zaku. Then another good thing are the accessories, and this is actually something this model kit really excels at. But let's start with a downer. We're getting the Heat Hawk, and it suffers from the age-old Heat Hawk problem. Fits in there pretty nicely when it's on the side. No problem, looks the part. It's of course all gray, but when we want to put it in the hand, flippity flop and down it goes. It's really not secure, it's gonna fly all over the place, doesn't want to stay put at all. So yeah, really the best thing to do is, if you want him to use a Heat Hawk, grab some tape, wrap it around, and voila, an easy fix for an annoying problem that, to be honest, shouldn't have existed in the first place. But like I said, this is the only disappointing accessory, because we're not just getting one trigger finger hand, we're getting 2 trigger finger hands. And then starting up with the machine gun, we have a movable handle here, scope also moves around a little bit. And if you want, you can remove the clip. Unfortunately, it cannot be stored anywhere, and it's also a little bit hollow. So then you just remove the hand here, maneuver it around a little bit, and voila, he's holding his machine gun with both hands. Or want it to be a little bit more action-packed, you move it up a little bit, put it back in, and there we go. Of course, if you want a little bit more firepower, here is the left trigger finger hand with the bazooka. Scope goes up and down, and the handle here also goes up and down. And this is the part I really like about this model, and something a lot more models should do: left trigger finger hand. Because if you want a little bit more firepower on your Zaku, this is the way to go. And of course, he can hold the bazooka with both hands just as easy as a machine gun. As you can see here, no problem at all. And let's say that you don't want to use the bazooka. Well, just gotta remove the hand, put the scope up, and then there's a little hatch here on the back, which you gotta get open. Out you come. And, gotta be careful, come on. There we go. Now, you really gotta push it in well, because if you don't push it in well enough, it's just going to flop around. And it kind of seems to attach at random, because sometimes it fits really well, but overall it's still a little bit of a weak connection. So when you have the bazooka on the back, just be careful, and once it's on there, don't even look at it. There we go, but that's still not all the weapons we're getting, because we're also getting these missile pods for on the legs. The one unfortunate thing is they're just kept on there with friction. Or perhaps it would be better to say no friction, which will be very obvious once we put it on there. So what you gotta do is remove the lower leg, detach the cable, and oh wait, the other one, put this over there, and there we go. And as you can see, the immediate problem is it doesn't attach anywhere. So once you start moving it around, and like I said, the bazooka doesn't really like to stay on the back at all. The good news is the legs are really easy to remove, and also those cables are really easy to put back in. The only real negative I can think of is that, well, when you're moving it around, these missile pods will fly all over the place. The good news is, once he's stationary, these missile pods will stay where they're supposed to be, as long as you don't have them in some kind of intricate flying pose. But then again, well, the Zakus aren't really going to be flying around with those missile pods anyways. And now, a quick overview of our Zaku here. Well, articulation is pretty awesome for an old kit. Accessories are also really great. I mean, we even get a left trigger finger hand. The only problem I really have with the accessories is one, and number two, the heat hawk. The inevitable curse of the heat hawks of not being able to stay in the hands correctly. But yeah, you gotta say, as far as accessories goes, those are two pretty minor problems. And then, well, technically those missile pods as well, but that's really not an issue at all. The big problem I have with this is, well, the way it looks. And I'm not talking about the color scheme yet. It's just the overall feeling I get from this. Zakus are supposed to be terrifying, death-dealing machines of the apocalypse used by Zeon. But this doesn't really give me a badass vibe at all. Especially the face. Like I said, why not use one of the more modern Zaku molds like the F2, or just give us some conversion pods for the high mobility type. I mean, all they gotta do is change the backpack and change to lower legs. It can't be that hard. So yeah, as it stands for now, well, if the look doesn't bother you, then this is a great model, but I don't know. Is there anyone that can really say that this Zaku looks awesome? Especially when we're comparing him to the F2 and the high mobility type. One of these just doesn't belong. Yeah, some more comparisons. Here we have him next to Garma's Zaku 2 and the Eco Plus Zaku 2. Once again, well, this guy does feel a little bit left out. Then, next to the Gem Sniper 2, another limited model, and the Zaku 3, and as you can see, it's once again a pretty standard size machine, just as the Gundam. And here are both of them together.